6 games. On the other side of the field for the visiting Patriots, they're hitting their stride of late. Winners of 3 of their last 4.
And the offense last week, they had things humming. If you're a defensive player, you may get overshadowed a little bit, but you're really buoyed by what your offense is doing.
Three-quarters of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. So now here come the Patriots to take over on offense. And they'll be led out by their quarterback, the Stanford man. It's Andrew Luck.
I don't know about you, but I've absolutely loved his consistency throughout the season. Always good, occasionally spectacular. But right now, he's on the outside of that MVP race. What's it going to take for him to get it done down the stretch?
You're right, on the fringe. But, hey, it's Week 14. There's still a month left for him to make a lasting impression, have some scintillating plays, and then who knows?
Yeah, those scintillating plays, those splash plays, those plays we'll talk about for the next week leading up to the next game. He'll need a bunch of those down the stretch in order to win the award.
A big play there on the first play of the game. 53 yards. We know he's good at catching the football, but then after the catch, he's got escapability.
Not only that, he's got some toughness as well, because you know he's coached very hard to make sure he battles through, breaks tackles, and then they finish with, but don't fumble the football.
They'll run it here. This is James White. He's got the first down inside the 10. And he's in. Touchdown, Patriots. James White with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Patriots drive right down the field and score on the opening drive. Well, these guys have won 3 straight ball games and another good start to this one, out to the 6-0 lead.
And I've talked with so many different coaches, as have you, along the way, and they always talk about winning streaks and the mood of a team and how much easier it is to actually prepare during that time. Guys are sharp, guys are focused, everyone's feeling good, and we're seeing it early in this one.
Hardly any time taken off the clock there. 2 plays, and they find the end zone for 6 points. Fielded about a yard deep. But he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. So here come the Dolphins now as they get set to take over on offense. And a look here at their go-to guy under center.
I read something prepping for this game that he said prior to, and I think he really said it a few months ago, where he talked about he wants to have the type of season that at the end, he's buying gifts for all the guys who helped him along the way. And I know that the team wants to hold him to that and really get into his wallet. But that's what good leadership gives you. You know, at the end of the season, because you've done a great job, QB, he's usually the guy who springs for the good stuff.
This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead him to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week. And right now, we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
Under 10, 10. Shoot, watch the shoot.
They'll look to throw now on first down. And this is caught. It's Parker. A Miami first down on a 14-yard pickup.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down. Time to feature the offensive starters, and our first chance to get a look at Parker.
Devontae Parker came out of Louisville with a guy who was known as a mature receiver. Runs routes really well, but the best part of his game, he'll jump over you at the end of a route and go get the football.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. This taken in by Jakeem Grant. He will go out right near the 35-yard line. A Miami first down, that one going for a gain of 11. Ball up up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On first down, here's Breida. Jonathan Jones there to make the stop. For New England, this is how they will line things up defensively. They're going to need to be strong against the run in this one.
Stopping the run, that's been an issue for them all season long. Aren't you glad that you're not coaching the defense right now?
I'm very glad. They said that they've seen it in doses, but very, very small doses.
Yeah, you've got to be consistent. It's down in and down out, being able to play it, understand what you have to get done, and finally stop some people, put them on the ground.
Now it's Breida. He's got a first down and much more inside the 20. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Matt Breida, his 6th touchdown of the season, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and we are tied at 7. So that drive 6 plays, 75 yards. And it was Matt Breida who had the touchdown run to put an end to it. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. The Patriot offense heading back out as we take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about, well, if the playoffs were to begin today, and then we kind of go, okay, but they're not. Let's see how it plays out.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Big Shaq Lawson gets the sack there.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I'd file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Here's Love. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Christian Wilkins in there to drop him, and sacks on 1st and 2nd downs. Now leads to a 3rd and long.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Now a play fake, and it's Love. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Shaq Lawson in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Returnable for Grant. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And it'll be Dolphin football. So the Dolphins offense heading out as we give you a look at the playoff race in the AFC. And for the moment, they're sitting pretty in possession of that number 2 seed and, more importantly, perhaps that first-round bye.
But they have to clinch it, don't they?
Yeah.
That's the key, right? So, in a sense, the playoffs have started. They've got to go ahead and get this thing done. Otherwise, it's a different road, and you really don't want to be at the mercy of other teams and their results.
We get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, it's working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
Takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Watch tight end. Even. 4 down.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And it's caught by Parker. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. Right about 20 yards on the pickup. And officially, they'll say it's going to go for 19.
Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
Now an open man. That's the tight end, Gesicki. It's complete. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
On second down, a run with Breida. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
He'll look to throw. And this is Parker, complete. He's already topped his receiving output from a week ago, and we're just in the first quarter as that's a first down. Great mix of play calling so far. 3 runs, 3 passes. All 3 passes have been completions, first and goal.
I think on defense now, you have to almost take a chance. Rely on your scouting. Pick a play you think they would run here and just load up for it and see what happens.
And he's going to be dropped. Back at the 15-yard line. Dietrich Wise Jr. in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
Well, competition comes up in so many different ways, and right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. Had about 5 sacks last week. We just saw their first one of this game.
Second and 15. And that is caught. Touchdown, Miami. Jakeem Grant, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Dolphins have taken the lead. Sanders now to add the extra point. It's up and good, and it's 14-7 now here in the first quarter. So that drive in total 8 plays, and it winds up in 6 points for the Dolphins. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Pats at the line, ready to go. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score.
Let's go.
On second and 9. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. Off of play action, Luck. And that will be incomplete.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Here comes Grant on the return. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And that will come the offense as they take over. Jordan Howard and the rest of the offense heading back out there. A good job in the passing game. Decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
Yeah, you can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse, however.
No doubt about it.
On the give, running right is Howard. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. He can muster only a yard there, and they'll be left with a third and very short. They'll try to run for it with Howard. Space to maneuver at the 40. And finally, down at the 41-yard line. That one good for 13 and a Dolphin first down. Obviously an important run to avoid the 3-and-out on your own side of the field.
Shows a lot of faith in that offensive unit, doesn't it? That you want to run the ball in that situation. Pick up the first down. Also helps out your defensive guys a little bit, too. Allows them to get at least one more series of downs in order to get some rest.
A good cover defensively as they get to him just beyond the 45 after the juke. The safety, Patrick Chung, is the one who makes the stop.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
2nd and 5. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in the cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Patriots' 42.
Now, that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. Here's a run on first down that won't even get back to the line of scrimmage. He will lose a yard. 2nd and 11. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
If you're the coaching staff upstairs, you might want to file that play away. Did you see how fast the safety closed on that one? Coming up in run support, made a big-time tackle. Might want to try and check into a pass next time.
Yeah, got him for a loss. Really, really great play defensively. On 2nd down now. It's Howard, and to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards. That was the 8th play of the drive, so a somewhat fitting pickup of 8 yards. The Dolphins on 3rd down, a perfect 4 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Back to throw. That's complete to his tight end, Mike Gesicki.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He had told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put up in the top shelf.
And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. Lawrence Guy make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. And he's going to go down again. It's John Simon with a sack.
Sack City, baby.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down. Went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll send you up to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there, and he'll have stats and scores from a busy Sunday in the NFL. On 3rd down, a run from Breida. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up 4th down. So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt. And I tell you what, he got it from 58. That had lots of leg behind it. So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
Here is Andrew Luck, the focus of our player spotlight. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground. But that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to figure out how do they get rid of the ball faster to help out the offensive line so he doesn't get hit as much.
And we'll see if they can keep him off the ground now going forward. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Looking to throw again on second down. Luck gets it to Gordon. Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Luck looks to throw on 3rd and 1. Well, the two men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
That's fielded at the 8-yard line. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Matt Breida, the offense, heading back out. We're in the second quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, trying to get him more involved here on this drive, maybe. This quarterback now, 9 of 11 passing in this first half. He's got his guys at 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. He'll look to throw. Going deep here for Parker. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. 3rd down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense if that fell harmlessly to the ground. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Now the Patriots will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. On 4th down, Matt Hawk is on to punt. This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. Mark Ingram now gears up to help lead this offense back out there. You can count his carries on one finger. They've only given him the rock one time, Charles. What gives?
So we can't draw any conclusions just yet. He has to touch the ball multiple times in order to get into a rhythm and have a chance to have success.
Due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the 3rd quarter. The Dolphins in front, and they'll be in possession of the football first as the second half gets started. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. He's playing pretty well. I don't think it's necessarily him changing up something he's doing, but That O-line, they've got to protect him better.
They do. They've got to make sure that they give him more than enough time in order to find targets downfield. And sometimes what happens when these things are going on is that the field general will step up and say, hey, that's on me, guys. I didn't get rid of it fast enough. Anything to try and relax them a little bit and take some pressure off, because they do know that they are trying.
Yeah, well, we've seen the 4 sacks so far in this contest. There to stop him, Juwan Bentley.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
They run again with Breida. He finds an opening past the 40. The 40. The 20. 10. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Matt Breida with his second touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. So here are the Patriots now. They get ready for their first possession of half number 2. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing, and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Big stop, D. Big stop. Let's go.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Luck. It's complete. James White. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
The throw over the middle, taken in. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Give him 19 there as the drive marches forward. So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 48-yard line. Clock now to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. It's a give to the right. Ingram. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. From the gun, here's Love. That's complete. It's Gordon. And a nice job there defensively. They get him to the ground short of the first, right around the 42.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
And he'll try and throw here on the fake. And it's complete. They're going to get the first. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Not often do 4th down conversions result in 23 yards, but that's the case here. First down.
You know how I always talk about when teams line up for long field goals, that you should be in a safe defense.
Right.
But you're also in a position here where this is a makeable kick. So rushing it is also part of this strategy. Maybe they use their aggressiveness against them on that fake.
Yeah, with a low trajectory, they're coming in hot, trying to block it. You're right, and obviously it worked out. Give him 8 on the play, and it'll make it 2nd down. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. To throw is Love. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So give them the yardage on the pass and half the distance to the goal line.
Because they're inside the 30, so now you don't march off the full 15, right? You have half the distance to the goal. In any event, that's precious real estate given up.
They'll run. This is White. Now he's over the line and into the end zone for a Patriot score. James White, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Patriots get a score closer. Now he's doing his part, but still facing a sizable deficit.
And he would like to do more, but he needs help from the other two-thirds, right? He needs his defense to bow up a little bit, and he also needs special teams to maybe create some big plays and help them get back in it.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Matt Breed in the offense heading back out. He is hoping to find the end zone for a third time, and we sit now in the third quarter.
And nothing would excite him more, but I think even more so, his offensive line. Anytime you've got a guy scoring that many times, that means you've done a really nice job in front of him.
You're always giving props to the big fellas up front.
It's always a good idea. This is a massive men.
Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. And he does take it in for the touchdown, but a flag on the field, and I don't think this is going to stand.
Yeah, don't put the points on the board just yet.
Brutal, so take away the long touchdown.
It's a cruel game sometimes, partner.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty.
Check nickel, nickel, nickel. Watch the twist.
Now back to throw. That'll be complete to Breida. And they'll get him down here at the 23.
That's it, baby.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up the score.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 18 big yards on that one, and a Miami first. The running game fully in sync, 1-11 on that play.
And sometimes it comes from the offensive coordinator, understanding what he thinks the defense is going to do and dialing up the perfect play. Sometimes the quarterback, though, can look at the defense, realize he needs to change it to a run, and that gets it done in a big way as well.
They run with Howard. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
51 to mine.
2nd and 13. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
They can't stop us.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down. Went backwards. It's 3rd and very low. He gets it into the arms of Parker. Complete. They get a big amount back, 18 yards, but they'll still look at a 4th down now.
Boy, they had a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent gain. Now they're in 4th and manageable.
Just a little short, though, of that marker. Here's Matt Hawk now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And that is very well done there, as this will be marked out of bounds at the 5-yard line. Back now in Miami. It's Patriot football that they trail here as we begin the 4th quarter. On 1st down, it's Long. Able to get this to Gordon. Nice move on the play, but he will be brought down shy of the 15. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3. They run. It's Mark Ingram. There goes Mark Ingram. He's at the 40. 20. And he'll be marked down deep on Miami's side of the field. A big effort that time out of Ingram. 73 yards. Now, yes, a two-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on second and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the first down there, but they, as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a two-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. They'll fake the handoff. Now Lott. And that's going to be caught for a Patriot touchdown. Mohamed Sanu, his second touchdown on the season, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a three-point game.
A lot of people might call this backyard football. Sometimes just understanding who you've got out wide and who you're going to throw it to. Give him an opportunity to go up and make a play, even when contested. Looks like that one worked out pretty well. The trust factor, in effect.
The call is to go for one and kick the extra point. It's up and good, and this now becomes a 24-21 ball game. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive, and it ends with a New England touchdown. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And his guys are going to start their drive right at the 20-yard line. And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. This game is really flipped on its head. 2 unanswered touchdowns by the other side, and now they take over here with just a very slim 1-score lead.
And we've seen this how many times now? Teams get a big lead, they go into coast mode, and all of a sudden they're scrambling and battling for a win down the stretch. They've got to put something together right here, otherwise they're in danger of doing the old snatching defeat from the jaws of victory.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. They'll begin the drive with Howard. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25. They'll set up to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Grant. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A gain there of 21 yards. But probably the only thing he did wrong there is go out of bounds, nursing this 4th quarter lead. You want to stay in, eat the clock.
Yeah, you got to love the effort, the catch, the extra yardage, but you've got to know the situation. Stay in bounds, young man.
This quarterback now 12 of 16 thus far. It's 1st and 10. Here's Breida. And he'll take it across the 50 and into New England territory. Dante Hightower on the stop. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock. Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
first down, they run with Howard. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Dolphins first down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. About 3 yards there to the 27.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's a 2nd and 7. And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. He'll drop to throw. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. And he's got another first down as the tackle is going to be made at the Patriots' 17-yard line. And he's over 100 yards now after that last catch. Already, of course, leading the NFL in receiving yardage.
So he's done nothing at all to hurt his cause, to stay in that spot. But I've been so impressed with how he's gotten it done. Body control, route running. How about the way he competes for the football at the end of the play?
Back to throw here. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
Ran a perfect defense in this situation. Would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Three points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. They run with Breida. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. Now this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. They're going to look to throw. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. So decision time now, because a field goal keeps it a 1-score game. What are you thinking?
Well, I'm looking at the down and distance, and that's where the issue comes in. It's not short enough that it's a no-brainer and you go for it. You have to analyze this one. To me, you take the field goal, take the points. I don't think you want to risk coming away with nothing.
So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Andrew Luck in the offense. Down by 6. A little under a minute 50 remaining. They've won 3 in a row, but they've got work to do if they want to get a 4th in a row as they come up on first down. They go over the middle, and it's complete to start the drive. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That one good for 13 and a New England first down. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Now it's Luck. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Well, he leads the NFL in interceptions and nearly added to that total.
Got his hand on it, couldn't quite corral it. It's been a Pro Bowl-type season for him, and the term ball hawk really comes into play, doesn't it?
Yeah, I like that one a lot because teams want to avoid that type of a player. but sometimes you just can't. He just knows where the ball is.
They give him 27 yards on the third down conversion.
Partner, they're clearly saving those timeouts, but they still have to work with some urgency to put themselves in the right position.
Now the Patriots will use the second of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this fourth quarter. Back to throw. Gets this into the hands of N'Keal Harry. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down. The Patriots will take their third and final timeout as they get it with just 19 seconds left on the clock.
What we got?
He'll look to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Eric Rowe. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. And they've got this one in hand. No timeouts remaining defensively, so this one should just be one kneel and then handshakes. They'll start on the ground with Breida. And an alley to run. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. So a victory here for the Miami Dolphins. And it wasn't really always pretty. They had their bumps and bruises. Really, both sides did. But they did what they needed to do at home to get the win.
Yeah, they really had to grind this one out, didn't they? Because nothing came easy. Every snap was a major league brawl. They had to win at the line of scrimmage, win downfield. They got all those things accomplished. But to win a close one like this, you know, every team wants to be physical. We've heard that a million times, right? But those who are mentally tough, those are the teams that you have to deal with in the playoffs. This was that type of a game.
So for Miami, it's a very important win as they move to 9-4 now on the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the New York Jets. Meanwhile, for New England, it's a potentially fatal blow to their playoff chances as they drop to 6-7 on the year. And they'll try again next week at home against New England. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.